Virgo. Did you ever hear anybody say, don't go shopping when you're hungry? Don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry. Because you'll end up throwing so much stuff into the cart that you just don't need. You'll end up paying for it, and then when you get home, you have so much extra food, and now you feel obligated to eat it. But simultaneously, you don't want to eat it, but you're going to eat it because you have to. There's almost like, now that I've done it, I have to justify doing it. So maybe if I figure out a use for it, then it'll be okay. The problem is that's still allowing the situation to dictate your behavior instead of your choices. You get stuck in what ends up becoming a domino effect, a reactive domino effect, a reaction. Let's put it, what's a good word? A reaction domino effect. Okay, so I did this, so this has to happen. I did this, okay, then this has to happen, this has to happen. And now everything's just falling down as it is without you really being able to have any input whatsoever. And you love having input. And the problem is, in order to make yourself feel in control of an uncontrollable situation, you'll start to justify a lot of things that normally you wouldn't approve of at all. And so a lot of your life gets out of your hand because of that one or that initial decision that you now somehow have to justify on multiple levels in many different ways constantly. I would apply the same concept to how you see others or how you judge others. Don't judge others when you're feeling crappy about yourself. Because what ends up happening is you start to let out the whip and the criticism that you feel toward you onto everybody else. You project your dissatisfaction and your hurt and your shame or your disappointment onto all these other circumstances, kind of distributing the poison so that nobody dies from it, but everybody gets sick. This is the kind of energy that you're living in. Now, it may be happening to you or being created by you, whether it's internal or external, I think, and in a lot of ways, I think much of it is internal. And I know this sounds accusatory, but I got to do the reading and I got to tell you what the energy is. And the energy is very much allowing yourself to put a lot of pain and suffering and sorrow. Take what you're feeling inside, and instead of owning it, basically just distributing it. Now, you could be redistributing it in different ways, but in every situation, it is what it is. It's not like gasoline or energy where it can fuel a situation. Like sometimes we can take emotions like anger or even hatred. Usually just anger. Anger is a very high energy emotion. And so we can take it and we can filter it into other things and make it into something that creates good stuff. But there is this energy of over hypercriticism, being hypercritical. And this is the test, Virgo. When you look into the mirror, do you like what you see? Because if you do not like what you see, whether it's physical, emotional, psychological, if you feel disappointment when you look into the mirror or you spend time by yourself, that is the heart, that is the core of what is infecting all other circumstances around you. And I feel like a lot of this has been distributed in many different ways. Behaving outwardly, 444. You're protected by angels. You're guarded. You're maybe even feeling like you're being denied those things that you deserve or are entitled to. You're being protected. If there has been a stop, there has been a denial, there has been a rejection, it is because you are being guarded and protected, and you really didn't have the opportunity, or the situation really wasn't something for you. And as difficult as that may be to let go, there is this sense of almost like being restricted, of not being able to, or allowing yourself to believe in something outside of what you've already grown comfortable with. And it is that limiting sensibility that is compounding your misery. There is a lot of disappointment here. There is a lot. Now, it may not be you. Well, I can hear about a million, I wish a million people watch these videos. I could hear so many voices from Virgo saying, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me. Maybe you're dealing with somebody. Maybe you're dealing with somebody that is behaving this way. But there is also a sense of reflection. So those warts, traits, or those things that you're really struggling with or having a problem with outside of yourself are really those things inside of yourself that you need to look at. What you have been yelling and screaming and cursing at somebody else for could very well be you're the one doing it. Or you hate those behaviors so much because it's one of your own behaviors. There's a lot of self-work and internal existence that's impacting your reality right now, but in ways that are a little bit out of your control, like your hunger at a grocery store. You're reacting and pulling things into your carriage that you normally would not have any interest in at all, but your hunger has sort of taken over you. Now, I don't think it's your hunger right now that's taken over you. I think it is this profound sense of what should be compared to what is. And to kind of fill in those gaps, you've built this defensiveness of your own acute, astute, and articulate brain to try to rationalize away all those things that are not rational, which are your emotions, what you're feeling. It's so interesting how often anger hides our sadness, or bitterness hides our shame. And so I'm asking you in this channeled portion of the message to take a deep dive into where all of these really condemning emotions and situations are coming from. Are they really coming from the external? If they are coming from the external, how much of a magnet have you become for them? And why are you a magnet for them? There is a self-limiting energy about you right now that is very restrictive when it comes to life and happiness and abundance. And I don't think, once again, the way that I see things, your resources aren't really that limited, but there is a sense of limiting them and then behaving as if you never had them, or you don't have them at all. And if we have, say, money in the bank, or we're choosing to, we put $1,000 a month away into savings, it doesn't mean that we don't have the savings. It means we're not using that portion of what we have. But that's still not a reason to live in lack, live in a sense of, but I'm just never going to be okay because I don't have enough. And there's not a sense of overconsumption, like I want more, I want more, I want more. There is almost an aura of nothing I have is good enough. I'm not content. So a discontentment. Now, that may not be true in all senses of the word. You could be dealing with this energy outside of you. And it's troublesome, to say the least. But I think more so, there's a sense of you can understand what I mean when I say you're never going to be good enough for this energy, this situation, or this person. You're never going to be good enough because you were never the issue. It's them. It's not you. It's a sense of they have internal struggles. There's something underlying these issues, and you can't heal everybody and you can't fix everything. Now that can come as a really harsh reality to you, something that you don't like to hear, but something that you may need to hear in order to liberate yourself from not only the emotional impact this person has right now, but maybe the long-term impact on what you believe to be real and true. Because there does seem to be this energy of believing something is real or true because you've learned to see the worst side first. And you've learned to be a pessimist because you have grown up with or been overly poisoned by this toxin that is restrict, be miserable. That's a comfortable place to be, and it actually makes me smarter than most people. Why? I'm superior because nothing affects me, nothing happens to me. Well, if nothing happens to you, why be alive? It means nothing's happening to you. Life is something happening to you. It's a horrible state of being to be in almost a constant stasis just so that you can breathe one more second. And so that is the mentality that I feel really restricting you right now. And if it's coming externally, I hate it. But if it's coming internally, it's almost like I hate it more because that's even harder to understand as the enemy. But we always do end up as being our own worst enemy, don't we? So let's see where it's coming from. We have truth transcends illusion in reverse. So this is Aquarius energy in reverse. This is the energy of, nope, it's all about me. It's not about them. Kisses? Oh, my little puppy's, she's dreaming. And it doesn't sound like a good dream. This is the energy of being self-consumed. Being all about, like literally self-consumed, not really so good, and lying to oneself. And then we have, or not, refusing to see the truth, refusing to look at what's really happening, and then trust in the magic. Nope, not going to trust in anything. A new beginning has stopped. There is an ending. There is maybe an actual death. There is... this is also Aquarius energy in reverse. Once again, being stuck and self-consumed, and this time making it like cut you off and not enable you to see the beauty and abundance that actually surrounds you. Why? Because we have this card too. This is a mentality of just lack, constant lacking, constant upset, constant I don't have anything, I lack everything, there's not enough ever here. But this card implies that there is enough. You're just not getting any more because you don't need any more. So there is that sense of, if somebody constant consumption, which I said was not really the case, but there's a sense of feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me, or else you can never make somebody with that mentality happy because they're self-consumed and they have consumed themselves. And that's why they need to constantly consume on the outside, because they've got nothing left internally. This is a very empty, not shallow, but almost black hole. If a black hole could be personified, it's this person. It's this, or this energy, which could be what you're creating. This sense of just so self-consumed, looking at yourself, interrogating yourself, introspective, forcing yourself into isolation, that you've forgotten, or this energy is really forgotten how to live. And it almost believes its own bullshit because all it has left is to just kind of regurgitate. And then we have this. Now that's kind of in the past, but it's like an energy that is still sucking you in or pulling you in and not allowing you to move forward. Lay a solid foundation. This is your energy, which is why it could very well be that this is you doing it. No, you can't lay a solid foundation when you rush to a decision or you rush into something, especially when you're not looking at the circumstance in the future. You're not looking in the distance. You're looking this far. This is the energy of literally someone who's looking this far in front of their face, but making decisions about everything because they're rushing to conclusions. And what is happening? Well, things keep upheaving. Things keep upending. They don't feel right. They don't feel stable. They feel like they're trying to build a house on sand, and that's exactly what they're trying to do because these conclusions that they've come to are sand. They don't have a foothold. They are uncertain. Like all of these things are fucking true. They've rushed to a conclusion because they don't want to look at a larger scope or a bigger picture. They want to look only right in front of them. Now, this could also be advice that says to you, take one step at a time. And maybe don't try to rush into anything right now because you are walking on sand. And it's going to disappear. So you're not leaving permanent marks anymore. You're not. And if that bothers you, then check your ego. Because sand is going to be sand. You can't make a permanent impression in it. There's good stuff happening here. This is Aquarius energy. Open to infinite possibilities. So many applications of your gifts and strengths to communicate to the world, to be able to inspire and help people broaden and expand. Money has come in, or there is enough. There is a way out. There is a way forward. You are being given messages, told which way to go. You have all the information that you need to expand, broaden, and move on. It's like the information is absolutely here. Now you have to not only decide to listen to it, but maybe even in some ways look for it, research it. But there is this sense of it's there. There's an abundance of information to move you forward, to help you move forward. Bring a gentle touch. Magic works through you. And trust in divine detours. All of this energy is very mutable. Well, no, this is Cancerian energy. Very flexible, very living in the moment. So that could be very much it, this sense of going from trying to always make something permanent to being okay with things not being permanent. Being okay with things being disposable and changing right now. It's almost like if you prepare yourself for things to be disposable, then you're not going to get disappointed. The disappointment lies in the expectation that they're always going to be permanent. The truth is every aspect of life is not necessarily disposable, but it's malleable, it's changing, it's shifting. So there's this sense of there's a beautiful magic. There's infinite possibilities. Don't judge or misjudge or harshly judge the changes as much as you are, because there's something here that almost like it needs the change. There's this part of you that is just beginning, and that new beginning needs a wide berth to be able to grow and expand. But the more you limit it based on the fears from your past, it's almost like like actions that you made with regards to limiting other people's mobility, accessibility, or resources are now going to start to impact you and limit your resources, or in the future, limit somebody else's resources that you will be close to. This is Piscean energy, but this is a sense of being so restricted you can't believe in your dreams. So restricted that you can't bring your dreams to life because you don't even see that you don't even see that it's you don't even see the possibility in it. So that limits greatly any kind of possibility for the future. When I look at this reading, what I see is a generational curse. Almost like a warning of sorts of, are you spreading this disease? Not intentionally, but are you spreading this limited mindset? And if you do, and you restrict and restrict and restrict, you sign all the paperwork, you get on the committees, you make all these laws and rules that makes your base self feel safe and forces structure where structure never belonged, because you don't like change or you don't like movement, and to make yourself feel good, you needed to make something into what it wasn't. That structure is now going to be what impedes somebody that you care about in the future. So maybe you don't have to pay for it, but they will, and it will be your problem and it will be your fault. Are you dealing with somebody like that? Are you dealing with an energy like that? Because this seems to be a generational curse. And what I don't want is for you to be part of the conduit of it. And I think inadvertently, somehow, you're almost playing into the hand of this generational curse and passing it on. And what you want to do is shut it the fuck down. I know you, I know that's your intent. So this is about, but is that what you've been doing? This is about asking yourself, are the beliefs that I've adopted really paving the path or creating the world that I would want even if you don't have kids, that I would want my children to live in? Do I want my child living in a cage, even if it's a gilded one? Ask yourself that question. So let's get to I really don't try to be preachy. I really don't. And I wouldn't read this to you or be saying it to you if it weren't what the cards have in front of me. So let's get into the angel messages. I have Blue Angel here. Now, Blue Angel is Michael, and I know that. And Michael is a guardian. He's a protector. He's very defensive. It's so interesting how sometimes when we look to defend somebody that we love, we end up actually imprisoning them, because it makes us feel safe, it makes us feel secure, but it actually puts chains on them, and that's sad. Blue Angel is here. I, Archangel Michael, am here by your side. I am all around you and will forever protect you. Remember this when you feel fearful. I love you. All is well. So this is confirmation that you are being divinely protected. That all this worry and all this concern that you have, or maybe influencing you or pushing you into being somebody that you don't even like, you're being protected from it. You're not susceptible. And there is a fight being fought above you and beyond you to make the world a safer place. Sacred knowledge is next. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Feel the peace within. Beyond your thoughts lies your eternal truth, the I am presence of eternal love. Like I said, when we lose ourselves, or we're looking at ourselves in the mirror and we don't like what we see, we can become so self-consuming that all we can do is feed. This is about reconnecting with your source and who you are. It's like the angel saying, come back to us. Why did you leave? Vision. A positive outcome requires a positive vision. Visualize everyone involved in your present situation surrounded by light and love. Make sure to include yourself also. Your love has the power to influence and transform the current events. What is the world that you envision when you close your eyes? Not what you want. What is the world? What is it really? What is it? And how can you get on it today? How can you try to start making things better and brighter? Allow yourself vision. And this is Piscean energy in reverse. Allow yourself to imagine again. Allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to be silly. Allow yourself to be giddy and innocent and optimistic. It's something that's missing from your life. Love. The heart of love is the heart of creation. All is possible through love. All is worthwhile for love. May all you think and feel reflect love's eternal truth. I have to say, if you can't do this for yourself, do it for somebody else. Do it so that the world that they get to live in is a better, brighter place. Because you may have given up hope for yourself. Surrender. There is no point in pushing the barrow up such a steep hill. Go back to the start. Surrender your expectations. There is an easier way. When the time is right, a new path will appear. Relinquishing control instead of taking it, or feeling that you need to take it or everything will fall apart. It won't. It's protected. It's divinely guided. Archangel Gabriel is here too. Wow, you have Michael and Gabriel. You will soon receive some positive news. The channels for clear and honest communication are now open. Keep an open heart and speak your truth lovingly without fear. And with that, let's go to tarot. I will see you guys for the nitty-gritty in the extended. The link is below.